I am going on a little solo date to the theatre, so I am going to bring you along with me. Welcome to day 3 of Vlogoween. If you don't know me, my name is Rajan, aka Not Half Bad Crochet, and if you enjoy crochet content like vlogs, day of the lives, tutorials, then please consider subscribing to my channel. Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, give it a little like and leave me a comment to let me know what you think. Okay, we are on day 3 of Vlogoween. I am going on a little solo date. I am going to go and see Six the musical. I was gonna be like, let's see all the things I can crochet today, or let's wear a cute little crochet outfit, but it's currently like 29 degrees and I will not be doing that. So I think I'm just going to do a fun little vlog. So there's probably not going to be any crochet related stuff. I do apologise, but hopefully if you enjoy my vlogs in general, you'll probably enjoy my non-crochet related vlogs anyway. If you don't enjoy it, I'm sorry. Let's go back in time to the beginning of my morning where I'm going to get dressed, going to get ready. I am not wearing any makeup today because it's just far too hot, and I was like, I will just get overstimulated and sweat it off, so like what's the fucking point? I was also going to wear a crochet related outfit, and I was going to wear a cute little dress. Again, it's too hot, even though the pieces I have are very lightweight, they're cotton, they're nice and airy. I was like, I'm just gonna sweat through it, and I don't want to ruin it with my sweat, you know? So anyway, let's go back in time. And now I am back, I am dressed. Here is what I'm wearing. I'm just wearing these cute little pink airy shorts and this little cow print cowl neck top. It's very cute. It's got this kind of like kind of pointed edge to it. I really like this. I feel like I really want to make myself something cowl neck related because I love the way a cowl neck looks on me. I also really love this kind of cut of it as well, and I love the fact that it's not a halter neck. If you know me, you know I got big tits. Halter necks hurt my neck and my back. So the agenda today is obviously go and watch Six the musical. My showing is at 4 p.m. Also, sorry if you can hear the fan. It's, like I said, very hot, so the fan will be blasting into me as much as possible before I have to actually physically leave the house. But yes, so the agenda is go and watch the musical, but I'm going to go in a little bit earlier so I can go to Chinatown and grab myself some lunch. I am going to be picking up some bits from Chinatown Bakery for dinner because I don't want to cook, neither does my partner. It's fucking hot and we need to eat. So I'm going to pick up some stuff for us, and yes, I'm going to try not to melt. That's good. I'm also going to try and avoid the tube at all costs. I will probably get the tube from my main station to Chinatown, and then the rest of the day I'm going to be walking. So I think I'm going to wear trainers. I'm really unsure whether to wear sandals or whether to wear trainers, because my sandals are very comfortable, but trainers are just more comfortable to walk in. And then as well, at least then I won't have the dogs out, because you know sometimes when the dog's out, like my feet get a bit like dry, and like in London particularly they get like dusty and basically dirty. So I'm thinking trainers, and I think trainers would go cute with this. I've got these like pastel blue ones which I think would look cute. I've got my bag ready. I'm basically ready to go. I was, like I said, I was going to do makeup. I was going to make myself look real cute and pretty. I mean, I think I still look quite cute and pretty, but like I was going to put makeup on and I was just like, what's the fucking point? I have got some fun jewelry on today. So I have my necklace that I got from this brand that does anime inspired jewelry. They've closed down since, but this is inspired by a character from Naruto. I don't watch Naruto, guys. I don't. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry to be that guy, but I ordered a bunch of stuff from them and I was like, this necklace is really cute. It's also really hard to find gold necklaces. It's also really hard to find gold necklaces that with a long chain. I think this was like 24 inches. So I got this because it's cute and it's just kind of like, you know, nondescript. I'm also wearing my little charm necklace as well. This is a gift that I made myself when I went to Amsterdam from a shop called Bead Dazzled. Love that. And it was my gift. My mum gave me birthday money basically, and this is what I bought myself with it. It's got some really cute charms on there. Some obviously some Dutch tulips on there and some cute little charms. There's a little like shell which I think is adorable. But yes, I'm wearing this. I'm wearing some of my funky rings, just some of my more kind of casual ones. So these are my rings. Very cute, very cute. I'm ready to rock basically. I think I've got still quite a bit of time left before I leave. My train's at like 1, it's like 11:30 now, so I'm just gonna chill until it's time to go basically. Here is my bag that I'm using, just this cute little pink crossbody. Here are my pins for the day, very cute, very fun. And then here are my charms for the day. I've got my little babe Onosuke, I've got my cinema roll, and then I've got my little rabbit in a spaceship, which is also a snow globe. So fun. And then yeah, I've got all my shit. I am not taking a huge amount with me. Obviously I want to kind of minimize how much I have. I think after the last theatre trip I realized that the space that I have is going to be very minimal, so I don't, that's also another reason why I don't want to bring all my crochet stuff, because I mean last time I didn't get to crochet much, and also like it took up loads of room in my bag, so I'm kind of trying to minimize that. I've got my deodorant for when I ultimately get really hot and sweaty. I've got my phone charger. I've got some snacks. I've got my little pouch, which is where I can kind of keep all of my like emergency stuff. So I've got like paracetamol, I've got hairband, I've got pads in there, you know, like just kind of everything that I would possibly need. And then I just move this from bag to bag, so I don't have to like worry about whether I've got all of these things on hand. This is very autistic Capricorn coded. I have a little mirror. I have, what else is in here? I have my wallet, obviously. I have my sunglasses, and yeah, I'm ready to rock. I just gotta wait now. I'm in waiting mode, which is kind of annoying, but yeah, this is my bag. Just waiting for my train. It's so fucking hot. There's a slight breeze. I think it's gonna be quite rough on the tube. I'm sure it'll be fine though. I made it. Got my obligatory bag of buns. I ate my Chinese crepe, which I can't remember if I mentioned on my last vlog to the theatre, but I found out about this place from TikTok and I just couldn't find it anywhere. And so I was just wandering around for ages last time and I could not find it. And then I found it. I think because this time I actually prepared a little bit better, and I looked on Google Maps and I realised it was actually really close to the place that I was at last time, but they changed the outside. So I was like looking for the wrong place basically. So now I'm just gonna chill for a bit. I'm probably gonna have a little bun, and then I am gonna make my way over to the theatre. It's about a 10-minute walk and the doors open in about 15-20 minutes, so I'm just gonna chill for a bit. There's some benches free, so I probably will go sit on the sun and see how long I can last. It is fucking boiling today. I feel really bad for the people who were making the crepes, because obviously they're on this like stone thing and it's sweltering, suffocatingly hot, and I really hope the theatre has AC, but like I'm really not holding my breath purely because of the fact that it's an old theatre. So yeah, let's continue with my day. friends, I am back home, if it wasn't very obvious. I've showered and I feel a lot more human. I literally got home, took off all my clothes. My partner had like set up the fan and I just laid on the bed with the fan blasting into my naked body, and it actually really helped. And then once I'd kind of cooled down, I just had a freezing cold shower. I just freezing cold shower. There's nothing else I could do. I literally just rinsed my hair as well, and the heat that was radiating off of my head was actually quite alarming. So let me fill you in on the rest of my day. Obviously got to the theatre. I had great seats. I was in the stalls, but I was right at the back of the stalls, so I had a really good view of everything, but I was also really close to the door and also close to the toilets, which is great for me because if you know me, you know I'm a pisser. Okay. I drink a lot of water, so I'm constantly peeing. So yes, that was very helpful, being close to where I was. I'll put up where my seat is in case any of you want the same seats. But it was at the Vaudeville Theatre, which is in the Strand. It was a really small theatre actually. I don't think I've ever been there before, but yeah, a lot smaller than I am used to in terms of theatres that I've been to. The seats were really nice and wide, and I think what helped was that, you know, the kind of armrests, they were really high up for some reason, which I think was just weird anyway, because it was kind of like, what's the point in putting the armrest there? But the armrests were like, when I was sat down, they kind of sat about here rather than being like at my waist, which I think meant that the actual seat itself didn't have like the restriction against like my thighs and my waist and my kind of stomach area. So I think if you are quite similar, where you hold a lot of your weight in your lower body, you will also be fine in those seats. I think where they obviously sat a little bit higher, I'm quite broad. I think if you carry more of your weight in the top half of your body, you may struggle in those seats. But in terms of leg length as well, I was able to like really stretch my legs out, which is great because you can kind of put your legs under the seat in front of you, but it doesn't bother the person in front of you as well. So that was also a really good plus as well. It was not obvious I'm moisturizing my body. I'm using this really nice moisturizer that I got from Superdrug. It's lemon macaron. It's actually really nice. I basically nearly finished like the whole pot, purely because I've been showering so much because it's so fucking hot. The actual production itself was really fun. It was really enjoyable. It was really fun. If you don't know the story of Six the Musical, it's basically all about Henry VIII's wives. All 6 of them kind of share their story via song, obviously because it's a musical. There's like no kind of like storyline, if that makes sense. It's essentially just all the songs. So I think that's why it's also considerably shorter. There's no interval. I think it was basically like an hour and a half, which was like the entire show basically. So no interval, just the songs. There's not really a lot of dialogue. There's kind of like a little bit of dialogue in between the songs. It's not like shows like Wicked and stuff where there is a story to follow, if that makes sense. But it was still really good. It was very enjoyable. It was funny because one of my besties went to watch it in Bradford, and their review of it was like, it was like a GCSE production, which I think is a little bit, I think is a little bit harsh, because the actual production itself was very good. The kind of people in the cast were excellent singers, they were really good dancers and stuff, but in terms of like the kind of story, if you can kind of call it that, and the way the songs was, the kind of lyrics to the songs and stuff, I do kind of understand where they're coming from, because it's very like, and I don't mean this in a shady way, but it's very like wine mum feminism, which, you know, has its place. Everyone has to learn about feminism from somewhere and has to start from somewhere. But I think for me, and particularly like my friend and my friendship group and stuff, we're a little bit more like quote unquote woke, you know. So as much as it was good and it was a fun kind of production, I think in terms of like the messages that they were trying to portray and the kind of theming they were trying to portray, it felt a little bit, I felt a little bit too like evolved from it, if that makes sense. And that's not, like I said, it's not shade. I still enjoyed it, and I think musicals and stuff like that has its place, especially for younger people, and especially for people who are like just starting to learn about feminism and unpacking all of that stuff. So yeah, I think it was good. Personally, not like my favorite production that I've ever seen, but still very enjoyable. I'm moving over here because I am moisturizing my legs now and I need somewhere to put my leg. Generally, I had a really fun time. I think the show was good. I liked the fact that it was actually quite short as well, which meant I could kind of, it was just like watching a movie, you know. I think sometimes some theatre shows can feel quite long and quite dragged out, especially if like the seats are uncomfortable sort of thing. So yeah, I had a good time. Hello? Oh. So basically at the end, which is the footage that you saw, they basically kind of encourage everyone to like stand up and dance along with them and like take videos and stuff like that, which I thought was quite cool because it's not really something that you see in the theatre. Obviously like during the actual show, don't do that. You will know when they want you to, because they will literally say like get your phones out and like everyone get up, you know, sort of thing. So it's a very clear indicator. It was quite fun, so I kind of obviously was able to film, and it was basically like a medley of all of their songs, which I thought was quite cute. At that point I was like, I'm going to go. So because I was like, well, I've heard these songs, you know, I'm not really like, I don't want to like dance sort of thing. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. So I left and then I walked from the theatre to my train station, walked over the bridge, got to see like the London Eye and Big Ben. The other side has like the walkie-talkie building and stuff, and it's quite nice like when I'm back in London. Like I love the fact that obviously, because I lived in London for a really long time, and I was born there and lived there for a little bit when I was a kid. But yeah, I love being back in London, but I also love being able to leave, because it's one of those things where you've lived in a city for you're for such a long time, and that was like my home for such a long time. I think like, and as well, especially if you're from London and you've lived there, you kind of like will understand what I'm saying. But like the pacing there is so different, and like the person I was when I lived in London, obviously I was like considerably younger as well, but the person I was when I lived there, I was like completely different. And obviously it was like during COVID and stuff like that, so like there's a lot of factors to consider. But yeah, I was a completely different person, and I feel such a nice sense of like nostalgia going back there, because it's like, you know, I still consider it like one of my homes, and I still consider it like a city I'm very, very familiar with. But yeah, so I still love going back, I still really, really enjoy it, but I do love being able to come home. And I think when I come back now, like I'm able to like almost romanticize it a little bit more, because I'm not seeing it every day and I'm not kind of like numb to it. And I think especially if you've lived in London like your whole life or for a very long time, you do kind of become like a little bit jaded in a sense. Like I think it's kind of hard not to, especially like if you live in any big city, it's quite hard to not become jaded. I think especially in England, especially London, because like everyone's in a rush, it's very fast-paced, you know. Anyway, it has all these different kind of connotations with it. But yeah, I think it's quite nice going back, because I am able to see it through like a different lens, which I think is quite enjoyable and quite fun. But yeah, I had a really nice time. I got the train home. It was a commuting train, so I didn't film on it obviously, because commuting train, I barely made it, and there was loads of delays as well because of the heat, because it's so hot that basically what happens in England and in the UK specifically is that when it gets really, really hot, the train racks, or the train tracks, sorry, sometimes warp and they sometimes bend. So obviously that like fucks up the trains and the scheduling of the trains, because some trains just like physically cannot run. But yeah, it's been horrifically hot today. I don't think I've ever been this hot in my entire life, and I have been to very hot countries. I think it got up to 33 degrees, which is just fucking crazy. I'm sorry if you can hear the fan as well. Obviously the fan is on. But yeah, it got up to like 33 degrees, which is horrible anyway, but it's horrible also in London because it's just a suffocating kind of heat. And like, before any Americans enter the chat, okay, I just need everyone to know that the heat in England, specifically in London, is just very different. And I think everyone who I know who isn't from the UK or isn't from London, who comes here in the summer and experiences like a heat wave like this, they're like, oh, I get it. You know, I understand. Because like 33 degrees to an American person, to somebody who lives in Florida, is probably nothing. And I get that, but it's a very different kind of heat, okay? And also you have to remember that like, we don't have aircon anywhere. Maybe in our supermarkets at a push. We don't have aircon, we don't have aircon in our homes, and as well, like, the air is just so stagnant. There's no breeze. Like, our homes are not made to be cooled down. They're made to be heated up because we are a cold country. Anyway, whatever. My tangent on the weather over. It was very hot, unbelievably hot. And so luckily it didn't kind of like ruin my day, but I do think I would have enjoyed myself more if I wasn't fucking dying. So there's that. But anyway, I then got home and I ate all of my buns that I got from Chinatown Bakery. My partner ate his, and we just kind of caught up on our days, and that's it. That is the end of my super fun solo day. Obviously, like I said at the beginning, there was like no crochet related thing. This was just a fun little vlog, and I think especially with my Vlogoween vlogs, like there's probably going to be some more that aren't actually crochet related. I'm going to do my best to include crochet stuff and to kind of always bring it back to crochet, because I feel like that's why a lot of people watch my content. But I think particularly with the Vlogoween vlogs, I'm going to try and like, you know, just just vlog, like whether it's crochet related or not. And I'm hoping that if you enjoy my crochet content, you'll probably enjoy my stuff outside of crochet. If you don't, that's totally cool. I get it, man, I get it. But I do kind of want to like dip my toes into adding in a little bit more like lifestyle stuff, maybe some travel stuff. You know, I've got a couple holidays coming up which I may do some like Vlogoween stuff for. Also, if you hadn't guessed, the Vlogoween vlogs are not like all in order. Like this is, it's currently June, so I have basically planned to do some vlogs for Vlogoween like way in advance, in case that wasn't obvious with the heat discussion. But that is what is happening, because I mean, I don't really do much fun stuff, you know, and as well, like there is no way that I'll be able to like edit these videos and get them out on time alongside like my usual content. So this is what I'm doing basically. So I don't know if this is like authentic Vlogoween, but like I'll be posting them for Vlogoween, which I think is authentic. Anyway, whatever. Is there rules? I don't think there's rules for Vlogoween. I don't know. Anyway, if there are, I'm breaking them, okay, and I'm just doing it my own way. But yes, this is the end of day 3 of Vlogoween. If you enjoyed this, give it a little like, leave me a comment, let me know what you think, of course, always. Sometimes it does feel like I'm talking to the void a little bit, so a comment would be highly appreciated. And obviously subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of my other Vlogoween vlogs. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll hopefully catch you on the next one.